Welcome back to VCT Americas. It is time for more games. Glad you're here to join us. Awesome intro to the show by the desk, the couch.
Yeah.
And now we get to yell a little bit.
What did the couch have to say?
A lot of things about what they saw Superman and Digizine doing. They kind of combining them there, a bunch of stats. And we're going to have to see what they're doing in game. Also, the Sentinels is kind of feeling good right now. Great also interview by Dryad as she came in, doubling up there with both of them.
It's nice to see a nice little fun rivalry between Bao and Jerwin, right? Who's had some challengers experience from a long time ago. I think even before SAT Esports, I think they had a short scene with each other for like a very, very short time, maybe in Limited Stand or Trust and Plug, something like that. But overall, this is going to be a very important game for these two teams. On the one end, Sentinels, you still want to ride that high, right? From the big victory you just got. Looked like and felt like a grand finals between them and 100 Thieves last week. And then for EG, they had a great start in the first map on FURIA by winning in overtime, 14-12 on Haven, but then everything just kind of fell off, and they're still trying to find not necessarily the identity, but just how to figure out how they can win these rounds. I think the fundamental protocols that they keep ingraining themselves, that they talk about in every single one of these interviews, you almost want to believe every time. But when you're watching and it's starting to get applied in game, there's so many gaps still missing. So I'm really hoping this is that week that they're able to correct all of that and make it a game against Sentinels.
Well, let's see what the maps have for us as we come in. EG will select Haven first to see if they can get under the skin of SEN and see a little bit of those fundamentals come online. And one of our oldest maps, and then go to Bind, another one there coming out along those lines. Yeah,
Haven is going to be a fun one, I think, for EG. Even though they're playing, you know, to the T of the double controller, I think it just kind of makes sense. Again, remember, it's a 14-12 victory they got against FURIA, so it's just probably a map that they've practiced a lot just to make sure that they iron everything out. But going into Bind for Sentinels is going to be a fun one too, because the last time they played that was with Narrate using a chamber. We'll get there once we get to Bind, but looking at this game here, it's going to be that same mirror matchup in this double controller on both sides, which is interesting at this point too, because now you're just playing into Evil Genius's strength.
Very true. They're going to feel so comfortable with this composition. We still see Sentinels who are comfortable, even putting in Jerwin and Redux and the rest of the squad together throughout this beginning of stage one after kickoff. And it's just trying to go up against EG, who's ready for your counters, may already have a few counters for you, and that's what you have to worry about, Potter and squad. Always having a few things up their sleeve that are directed completely at who would be John Cutie now taking back the reins for Sentinels.
And I feel this game is going to be, or this first map is definitely for EG to win, because for Bind going up next, we'll have to see maybe Sentinels comes with something new.
All right, about to jump on to Haven. It's time for your match start, brought to you by Samsung OLED as we hit Haven. Looks like they're about to hit some smokes to slow down A. Get things started towards that right side of the map from attack.
It's an interesting smoke, actually. It's towards sewers. So they want to try to set some sort of pressure on that side, making Sentinels kind of think that they're trying to take control of that sewer short, trying to waste some util in the first place. But look at Sentinels, a walk contact. That might potentially surprise Com, but at the same time, look at the fast rotate on the other side.
Already, Digizine, they checked C, and then they said, that's enough C. We're going to have to get back to A to set up the retake because Sen is in. Quick Plant's going to be on default. Everybody's setting up a few towards Hell, a few towards sewers. They're getting hit up by the relay bolts, but there's no follow-up just yet. EG getting into position to make it happen here. First one is Superman to try to turn some heads, and Sentinels is able to respond very well. EG just inching back in, a 3v2 in favor of Sentinels right now. And they're able to make it even better. It's just Com who has to drop out, and he drops to Cortezia. Sentinels are in for pistol round.
It's good for EG to try to set a fast tempo at the beginning of the pistol round, though. As soon as the spike was planted, Paranoia immediately came out, so they really wanted to dictate that they want to play with aggression. But already, everybody's staying at different positions around that map. Not many people are getting affected by that flash, and what was most important was trying to take control of Hell for EG, because you still have players playing passively, watching from Heaven's side, but unfortunately, couldn't win all of those. So Sentinels has a strong pistol to kick things off, and Duran going for the second round Bucky with some mid control. And that is actually something we'll have to keep an eye on as well. Bao has mentioned consistently how it's so hard for him to play against the sliding Allen in FURIA last week. Jurgen could do the exact same thing.
Look how quick they read. So push down mid, that kind of lax. They know there's going to be someone in garage and spam right through it. Sentinels being very aware. Oh, a collab bucky?
Somehow.
Yeah. There's not slugs in that thing. It's buckshot, and he gets it to go just right. They're going to get right into C. Calm does get one onto John QT here, so maybe be able to do some further damage, but it should be another round locked up by Sentinels.
This is good as well, just trying to have them come towards him. You know, towards the end of the day, I think you still want to try to push out and maybe die to the spike, because I think keeping this Stinger into the next round is not the best of ideas. And understanding the state of the game where Jerwin's getting really close to his ults, he's hoping that somebody else could come in, he could close that gap, maybe get another extra orb for himself. And at the end of the day, he also still walks into Jerwin, who picks him off with the classic. So it all pans out to how Sentinels wanted to finish the round out. Now they have a pretty decent bonus round, right? They only lost that single Stinger on that previous fight. So it gives them a chance right now to play fairly aggro here within this next round.
3 pips away from that Neon Overdrive already, too. Can start to utilize that if they want and get hold of these long lanes. Looks like they are going to try to give Long A a little bit of trouble. Keep calm, or whoever it would be, to get that alt orb.
Interesting, too. You look at Jerwin, he actually invested into a Judge this round. So had a Bucky on the previous one, going for a Judge on this one, too. So they are trying to maximize the space that they could get with this bonus round of the Stingers. And, of course, finishing towards that B side. Close range fights. You clear corners quite easily. Easy smokes like that. They have no choice but to spam for EG. If they were playing the crossbar setup, you can't stay on site. So they're in a prime position here to play the pulse plan for Sentinels.
And they stay in. They know smokes to cover. It's too much of the wall there. They got to fight toe-to-toe. It's just going to be Cortezia outside sight here as EG start to make their way in, and it is clean so far. Sweeping 3 SEN members off their feet. Still have the long-range Hail Mary Molly to come through. Launched from Cortezia. Threw his shoulder out on that one. So he gets a little bit on the spike. It's going to be too much, though. There's a whole arsenal of EG standing there like a family photo, ready to help the defuse go through. And EG will take that bonus round away for themselves.
And a flawless. That's very clean. Bao with 4 HP remaining as well, which is going to add that confidence to kick things off for EG side. By picking up such a clean round, fast, another very quick retake that he took. It was actually from the very beginning, Sentinels, of course, were saying they have to stay on site, right? You're not going to play long range trying to spam with Stingers on a pulse plan on that B side, so you have to stay in. But then once they realized here that EG were still on the extremities, they tried to fight back against them, but the EG flooded in right away as soon as they got the picks.
Everybody's pretty far back, too, after the smokes on A and whatnot. They don't want to see if Jerwin has a shotgun, and they were right to do so.
Yeah.
That gets scary.
Remember Bao saying that he never had a chance to really play that game when he's holding tight angles, so he's showing himself a little bit more here, trying to ADS and try to go for early picks. This spot that he currently plays, though, towards that seaside has been heavily punished when he tries to jiggle a little bit too early, and there's no support from Superman to crossfire with him because he's not supposed to be dying at that spot. So they are trying to be a little bit more reeled back within this round. Saw Jerwin peeking in towards that window, but everybody's going to walk back unscathed. Keep it on a 5v5. Forces rotates, and as we force rotates, we force mistakes. Now let's see if they can close out this 4-on-4.
Okay, they have no Nia Sun.
Should we push Neon A? Can we push Neon A still?
You guys have to go for some low.
3, 2, 1.
What could be short?
Double garage, double garage, double garage. They re-clear garage.
Let's go.
Neon
Just
was
rewind.
long.
You guys need to take the fights.
Yeah, peeking.
Be close right.
I have 2 smokes and blind.
Get
I have
point.
nothing.
Heard.
They probably know.
Maybe jump sweating default.
30 seconds left.
You guys try to pick them
Yeah,
together.
peek. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Walk up and I'll
They're
re
right side.
pop.
I'll hold tail, I'll hold tail.
Close right, close right.
5 side, I'm holding side.
Spike down
Go through.
A.
Let's see.
No, both garage, both garage.
I'm gonna ult
Good
CG.
flank, good flank.
Yeah. Can you pop it when you can?
Yeah, wait.
We can maybe optic.
Yeah, we can.
One enemy
Nice,
remaining.
chip one.
I'm chilling. I'm
I'm
chilling.
5. I
Yeah.
think he's flanking. Take care.
I'm finding him.
I'm holding short.
One enemy
Just
remaining.
spawn.
TNT.
Bao has turret too.
Let's go.
In no
Yo,
tries to do it without the util use. Doesn't want to give away his position, but also just gives John Cutie a clean shot there. Very nicely played.
And that's Jonah P going heroic, actually, with his teammate John Cutie inside that site. Had 10 HP, 1 HP crossing that wall, too, and still wins that fight towards Graffiti. I think that was versus Calm. That shouldn't have been around here. That was taken over by Sentinels because EG had the opportunity advantage with numbers when they were able to re-clear towards that garage. So great turnaround by Sentinels.
Yeah, getting the kill and then Cortezia being able to say, both are still there.
Fnatic crunch.
Ooh, Digizine and Bao want to start this one off right away. Nice help with the Hunter's Fury distracting. So Digizine can have some freedom up here. Still takes quite a bit of damage. Has the regen though, as he backpedals out to safety.
At least they know. I was calling the Fnatic crunch, but the ult actually came in from the C-Link, something that they like to do for EG. So they understand that the Sova is actually posted up on the C-Link for Sentinels. So they are looking to re-clear towards this A side, where it was a good read at first. But the good old Okeanos, the tier 2 smoke drop, gets that pick, and a huge advantage again for EG in this round.
Making his own opportunities out of next to nothing here. Jerwin answers back. There's still numbers up by 2. So shouldn't expect any peaks from EG here as Sentinels has to source all of this information by themselves.
They're so good right now in terms of position for EG. They could just stay these 3 men on that B site.
Last player standing.
There's the turn. Ooh, Redux has to get out, already hit by 1. Vulnerable wears off, and he's still just trying to create a situation that makes his opponents feel uncomfortable. He can't feel too comfortable himself here. Does have a bit of an edge. Calm won't let him get the 1v1 though. Cleaned up, and it goes back and forth now.
EG put their foot in first here as they were trying to push down that middle. The thing is right now is you stall things up and you're able to get that first slowdown. Especially with that pick, you're forcing now Sentinels to react, and they're realizing here that weak side's towards A. They should have got dropped there by Okeanos. They didn't get the correct timing to swing outside of that smoke to really push Okeanos away from that line. So things come kind of desperate for them to hit towards that B site when they were, what, 2 or 3 players down, right? They still have all of that util from Bao that was watching Garage in the turret on C site. So EG, once again, having good positioning, understanding what's where they could plug in here these gaps, and they held that B site perfectly.
Already getting that info. Pushing right up through main, able to revert now. Okeanos back to B, a few spams through. Oh, the utility starts to shred Jerwin. He's got to find a way out into another fight. Oh, it's Bao. Doesn't think he's going to get aggressed on too quick, but Jerwin just keeps pressing W and hiding his Superman. The cape is flowing, they tear it right off. Redux finds him standing in sight.
Retake's going to be very difficult too, because Digizine was still holding towards this A side. Not pulling it up for this round, still keeping his Phantom. As almost at this point, it might be a couple of seconds until you realize that they should save in this moment. You always have this threat of that lurk from Cortezia. But Sentinel's pathing for that opening was actually quite nice.
Yeah.
Faking that B site, pushing Jerwin, sacrificial lamb, but still gets a kill on top of that with the overdrive. Going pathing from B over to the C-Link, while the rest could follow on Garage. So that means those 2 players on that C site can't really do too much here. You almost are trying to play in tandem and can't even set up any crossfires because you're just getting crunched in and caught out in the open.
Yeah. Becomes difficult. You expect that damage on Jerwin. I mean, you don't know you did it right away, but hopefully, entrance damage will slow him down. If even at 48 health, activates overdrive and runs around like he's still full armor, everything. That's what you need to see out of him, too.
Yeah, and that's also the strong point you see from a Neon playing against the nanoswarms of the KJ, right?
Yeah.
You put those nanoswarms down, you're trying to pop it off, a slide doesn't do too much damage on you, and you still gain so much space. And that's why you're seeing with the evolution of Neon coming into a lot of these compositions, Haven really the only map that you see a lot of KJ still because of the information you're able to garnish on the defense, and that ult is still pretty decent on this map. But outside of that, those nanoswarms are kind of useless unless it's for spike denial.
Ooh. Oh, Timmy. Eyes on, and Digi gets seen that time. It's still going to be a slower round for Sentinels, so they're happy to wait and see if EG want to push. This A seems to be a focus now for a 2nd or 3rd time. Oh yeah, they're gonna actually invest in this quite hard. Fast lane goes up, relay bolts in, a little stunned, and Digizine eats Jerwin alive real quick. Oh, he's going for more. Oh my God!
Down A.
Vandal picked up.
That is smooth. That
Spikes down.
Smooth. 2 more. Close enough. Be an ace. Com's gonna get eyes on this. Easy sandwich here. They squish in Cortez as he comes down from sewers. Nokianos will follow up on Jonah P as well. What a hold by Digizine there on A.
Yeah, again, it's a different type of protocol of a flood retake for EG. Instead of giving Sentinels a chance to plant before, you're actually trying to disrupt that push. So he really bolts at least towards that graffiti so he can try to stun some players on that side, but it also clears his own path so he can identify the fight that he takes. And that's the most crucial part in that small 1-2 second moment to try to go toe-to-toe against Jerwin. Wins that, and then he overtakes that side. Beautifully done by that star player of Digizine. Seeing less ops coming out of him, probably because of that. For EG, they want to play aggro and fight.
I was just going to mention that. He's not set up on a scope on too many angles this time around. He is in the face of Sentinels just as much as Jerwin's trying to get in here. Shotgun ready as well as they start to drone out and reveal that there's quite a few forces mid.
This is a mixed buy that you have for Sentinels now. 2 hero rifles for Redux and Jonah P. Big ults to work with though still. If they're able to work this map and pick players apart, that's some upgrades with the pit they can work with in a post plant. Which, look at the space as we're just talking about it. Shotgun right inside the smoke!
Oh, couldn't get the hit again onto Digizine. You would expect it. Almost slides out of that, but Redux is able to creep in on his tippy toes here. Oh, big play from Nokianos! Thinking he could get around the pit. Jonah P was right there, ready to tap him on the shoulder.
Best thing they have right now, though, if they really want to go for it, especially on a 2v2, pull that lockdown down. There you go. You push him towards Com.
Oh, Com knew he was going to draw somebody out with that too, and the speed that he dropped the drone.
But this is space.
Do they have enough to the other side? Bow goes. It's the peak. Oh, he's got it at half, though. Still gets to play a little bit of the situation, 10 HP, so the spam's going to go through that little foot of wall, and he's just going to go ahead and make the snip on the wire. The defuse coming in for Bao. Plays that smart, and Redux forced to save.
What a round in the end there for EG and for Bao. Com had to be a pillar on that A-side link. So for him to get that first peek and pick, allowing them to play that 2 versus 2, the Com went down right away, instantly. Bao puts that lockdown, forces the player out towards where the IGL is of EG, and he plays it to perfection. And I'm okay with him. This is the second time that he pulls out a drone instantly, and they're chasing him down. You might be thinking, what the hell's going on? He's just trying to bait as much as he could, just like on the previous round. They're able to set this crossfire. So I gotta say, EG looking quite happy. I think also the latest watch party FNS is also looking quite happy for EG.
Good curse.
Yeah.
That was you.
Now it's Sentinels watch party Tarek that's super happy.
Redux starts off first blood for round 9. Everybody's loaded up for this one. It looks like they might slow things down. No, Superman goes for a peek. I mean, numbers down, you got to look for something. Sentinels are going to eat that up. And here they are hitting C. That's a clean one from Redux to get a second on the round, and they nicely fold this one over back for themselves as we go back and forth.
A simple round, right? Everybody walk contacts. They're catching EG off guard, even though EG has good crosshair placement. Just couldn't react on time to win the first fight, and the IGL steps in for that opener. Very nice by John Cutie. And every single one of those guys are trying to, again, break that the timing here that you have for the rest of Sentinels when you have numbers advantage or when they have sight advantage. You're just trying to disrupt that as much as you could. Fortunately, couldn't be Digizine to help out because Digizine's still locked up towards this A site to cover it up with Oki. So Sentinels will end up being able to get a flawless round. Retake the lead in this half, but started off where it wasn't going to be looking too great for the Evil Geniuses, but we're in for a game now. We're in for a treat. Talked about it, a lot on the line. Might get brawly from here and there too because both EG and Sentinels are kind of finding their groove, their identity, trying to fix mistakes on the side of EG. And for Sentinels, just trying to mix everything up from different visions, right? You have Redux going back into a smoke roll. You have Jerwin recently appointed back here into or moving up, sorry, to the VCT stage. You have Jonah P, who has what, the mindset and the playstyle of G2 that you have to now mix with a new coach of Ewok that's from EMEA or for APAC. There's just so many different variances around Sentinels to just try to make things work.
And in their previous win, it wasn't a need to be a John and Cutie carry either. You know, the rest of the team was stepping up. We saw the younger names on top. So they are getting into that groove, into that position where it is the John can focus on calling.
Yeah.
He focus on a little bit more, and where it used to be, the position he wants to be back in.
There was actually a Cortesia carry on
It
that
was the
split game
Cortesia
against 100
carry. That
Thieves,
was crazy.
as Rob Moore likes to call him, the 100 Thieves killer. But that
I
said,
mean, what do
though,
you expect? The mustache.
Exactly. But as you're talking about John Cutie, I think that's another interesting point as well. The vocal players around the team will always relay that information here for John Cutie. But at the end of the day, it's still going to be this man that calls that final play that they want to do here on the attack side. So I guess the last round, he said, let me activate. Let me open things up. Kills the Garage player, and they overtake that C side. Now for the timeout, though. I wouldn't be surprised to see EG starting to come out with a little bit of a trap play or something aggro with the ults that they currently have. Usually it is the type of look you want to see here from a timeout from Potter, especially when it's a gun run right now and it's a very close game.
No way to use those, get that counter online that you've been waiting. Maybe they have something conditioned now that they can use. But yeah, Potter calling those timeouts for specific reasons here. And it's, like you said, a back and forth game. It's not going to be a repair timeout. It's going to be a, hey, let's start to get this in order now and execute. It looks like they do set up, and they're a little bit quieter in Garage with the backup they have for each other, and even trying to source out info sewers.
Yeah, everything that you're looking so far right now is you're now funneling players into mid control, right? You drone towards the A side, you're trying to push them towards the Jazine, and if there's actually going to be some sort of pressure, like I call them already moving back here towards that A link, already somehow still has a Hunter's Fury. So I think that's the main game. Keep them away here from that A-side line and try to support those two players stacked up in Garage with the Hunter's Fury. But what happens here? Sentinels waited the whole 40 seconds, so now you just have to readjust for EG. You have to rethink where the positioning of Sentinels could be starting out from because they have 0 on their side of where Sentinels are starting off.
Just playing, waiting for the wall to come up. They're using that as their line of scrimmage on the side of EG. And Sentinels, they want to get a few of these kills, see where that ult might be coming from. Well, they know where Digizine is. Calm is sitting in spawn right now, waiting to fire off the Hunter's Fury to slow down the initial take. Goes off right now. They're going to preemptively hit this one, thinking it's towards A. Ooh, catches the toes. Redux didn't like that at all as he's jumping around.
That's an important tag, too, because Redux is trying to find his timing to walk in. But now Garage is open. There's no alarm bot there. And Superman, he just has to hold the C line. He might get spammed down. He might not, but he's trying to stay alive.
10 seconds left.
Oh, he's going to be right next to him. One touch. Oh, my God. It's so hard to see just on the edge of the wall, but they're able to find the guns. Find a way to take him down. Jonah P just on the edge of keeping John Cutie alive here as they protect backside. 30 HP for Digizine, activates the overdrive to try and squeeze the pressure onto Sentinels. And it's enough for them to turn back and forth, wondering which way to look. It's not enough. And EG's timeout will strike hard onto Sentinels.
That was a huge responsibility for Superman as well. As they hear the thunder footing from that B site over to the C site, what does he have outside of that pit? Still has the one-way on the top of Garage and a snake bite to delay. So that gives a lot of value for him to reposition, for him to get a judge kill as well, and to delay well enough here for the last 3 players of EG, maybe even 4, to come in to win that round in the end. Very nice look at the beginning here for EG with this ult round that they had, but they had to expend every single one of them to be able to win that round. Sentinels now has the upper hand in terms of ult economy, with Cortesia leading with the rest of the team here with potentially this lockdown into the standard sewers.
Oh, TP's moves already. Oh, double ping on these guys that pushed up. Jerwin and Redux are known. Oh, Digizine's either a one and done or one and none. He's actually able to get one. Goes down, ult as well. But this is a backside hold for Okeanos. Wants to go with Paranoia, expecting the timing that they'll hit. Blinds out the drone, so Sentinels aren't too aware of what's going on here. They're just going to use bodies to get themselves in.
Interesting for the ult that he used here for Sentinels, because you could still stay on site, but unfortunately Okeanos got caught repositioning. Advantage back here for Sentinels in the pulse plant.
Oh, that's hot. That's, oh, okay, safe. Goes for a plant. Hopefully doesn't catch a shock dart. Those have been used out. Great spams back. 20 health for Jonah P, 26 for Calm. Everybody getting some good hits in here before the full retake.
Dart's about to be ready as well, so Superman's just trying to find his first timing.
Gets a little help from that. Smoke to go in, but it drops, and he is left out in the open. Nobody really able to help. Shock darts keeping Bao at bay. And it looks like they're going to have to back off of this one as well. The Redux is going to go hunting.
Right here.
Gets an ult out of this.
No chance.
Oh, he tries to go for the wide swing. Calm knows that. He's been around.
But around in the end, still 4 Sentinels. Felt that we were a little bit timid, though, for Superman inside that Viper Orb, because that's an attacker one, right? So while it's up, you got to find your timing and try to push through. That recon dart for Calm was supposed to create some sort of pressure so that he could find his timing by pushing into Hell. But as it gets broken, as he pings one player, I think he was so focused on the player being pinged that he just lost his timing to just fight into Hell while that crossfire is being blocked by the own attacker side smoke. So very hard to do nonetheless. You're still on a 3 versus X scenario at a disadvantage for EG. But continues to go for this low smoke into the sewers. Last round of the half with no ops at all for EG. Digizine still with a rifle round.
Sen have really just worked the mid and the right side of the map. EG trying to find info back on the left side. If they have gone C, it's through that garage. And again, Sen towards A. So EG should know they can just set up here and hold this. This is the hold ready. A paranoia for Digizine right behind. Follow up. I don't know if Sentinels is going to give it to him, though.
Yeah, they have to back up. You can't really use that paranoia anymore because the drone didn't really see anything. And especially now that Cortezia is going for this wall bang into B, they're knowing here for EG that there's some sort of pressure on that mid line. And I like the beginning when you double push down towards that C side, but now you're just leaving Superman alone with a Bucky, and you've also just given up that space on garage. Yes, the turret could maybe still help out, but Bao is pretty much on an island.
Getting ready to explode into A. 30 seconds, and they're going to anchor inside sight here, so big things have to come from Okeanos and Digizine in this situation. He gets pushed back by the relay bolt. Sherwin's already behind him here for a backstab in the same situation. And one's going to have to get out of the site. This is tough. Calm onto one. They're doing a great job of holding down the site for now, but it's going to be a run back. It's got to be Calm to get another one, and he does. Spikes planted, that spawn side, and they're just waiting on Supermen. It's all about the time. What a look from Cortezia. Looking at his watch, he knows there's something else going on, and he gets the timing. 9 bullets for Calm. Easily enough to make this happen, but Redux has the angle and the cut to take him down for 3. A great first half here from Sentinels to pull those last 2 back.
There was a world where it could have worked out, though, because Cortezia was going for that late lurk into the A-link, and then Superman was joining up very much later. But unfortunately, only a Sheriff to try to retake that 1 on a 2 versus 2 doesn't pan out for EG, but at the end of the day, still a strong start for Sentinels. Winning that piss round, finishing in the lead by 2. We'll see how it turns out here on the second half, Riv.
Heading to a break. Don't go anywhere. We're going to see if Evil Geniuses can come back in the second half.
Come on, Yassine.
We got this old mattress.
Waterbed.
And the receipt.
How about you beat it with a better deal on one of these fresh setups?
We can't do that.
Bring in your AT&T or T-Mobile bill for a better deal today.
Guess you're not as cool as Verizon.
I'm just gonna leave it.
Not much longer now, and I will also take to the skies.
Me too.
You? No, you will always be a worm.
Just wait and see.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Welcome back to VCT Americas. It's time to get back onto Haven. Time to get back to Evil Geniuses versus Sentinels. The coaches are prepared. A quick sip, a wet of the whistle, and we're going to get back onto the map, Vansili.
Indeed. I don't know how to follow up with that. But yeah, EG definitely starting off now on the attack side, and seen Digizine. We talked about it week after week, though, that Digizine is always a good win con for EG as well, but being able to put these numbers up as that one disrupting these sites on the retakes, phantoming for the team, works out well. It probably is going to be the similar type of opening, well, should I say, vision and protocols for EG, because attack side off against a double controller, not really what you want to try to use here. You start things off with an open C site for Sentinels to play.
Yeah.
A full retake. And if you're looking at it from the side of Sentinels, though, there's what? A Bandit, a couple of classics.
Right here.
Lots of util for them to flood retake.
Strat gotta go fast, executed to start, and patiently retake looks like it's gonna be used here on the secondary. Nice little backstabs to help each other out. Supermen waiting just outside the fight, but the trades are good. It's a 2v2. Redux whittles that down one more. Oh, the trades are insane on that round. They were instant. But you thought Com had a chance, and then that just went out the window with a kill.
So just mentioned before, the best thing here that EG actually had in terms of counter util against what Sentinel would have on a flood retake was just a paranoia.
Yeah.
But what started off quite well for EG to suffocate really Sentinels from really getting a clean execution on that retake was that flank from Superman. But then it comes down to the micro, watching each other's bodies, covering each other up, and John Cutie gets the instant tap trade. So that's both pistols now for Sentinels on EG's map pick.
Make it tough. Spike's going to be down for this as EG want to figure out where to go and maybe if they can get a gun out of the hand of Sentinels. They're one of the teams that will play these rounds like a real gun round and play it slow enough to make it work. Let's see if this is one of the ones that works.
Well, you can see from the minimap that we have John Cutie committed inside there. Might give a chance for the full exec to do some damage if you're not falling back.
Toxins going up.
Oh, John's delay is disgusting.
Yeah, maybe that's good enough.
Oh, no.
I mean,
nobody went
focusing-
the other way.
Exactly that. And I think because you're trying to move forward to get rid of that turret, so you're trying to slide through, you're trying to break it apart, and once it does, you just have a snake bite on the ground here for John Cutie and a beautiful crossfire setup between both him and Cortezia. Stingers on the board, preventing the plant from happening for EG. It's just Okeanos and Calm right now who are looking to re-hit towards his B site. It won't work because nobody rotated out for Sentinels. You just play power numbers. You still have all your util up.
Enemy remaining.
Oh, the full house. John and Cortezia in B to take it down, and that just, it looks like a trust the system situation, right? It's just a clean hit. Quick anti for that hit that's going to come in on B, and they can get back to business in the gun round.
Agreed. This is something great that, you know, Sentinels is talking about. I don't know if you've been watching the vlogs here after Sentinels' victories, but after the one they got against 100 Thieves, John Cutie had a beautiful speech talking about, hey, you guys know what it's like to win right now. And now when you have these two players that are also stepping up to the plate, owning the server, it really helps the newcomers of like Redux, Jerwin, and Jonah P to rally behind that, to get that confidence going to this game. As they have the confidence going into their bonus round, just trying to play the basic information once more. It's a turret this time watching towards sewers, though, instead of playing towards his B site. So they are anticipating a little bit more of a leniency from EG over on this A side. But the reason why they have 3 players stacked there is that they're trying to funnel it into Jerwin's Outlaw in that window of garage.
Yeah. He's going to be forced to move here. It looks like EG is still milling about the map. And I feel like this might be what we get for this half, fans, right? They want to make Sentinels feel really uncomfortable in their starting positions, make sure they move. Doesn't matter where they move, just take flight. Don't be in that early protocol.
Ooh, this is where it's good for EG, though. They find the timing where the gap is.
Exactly.
Outlaw only does some damage.
Oh, the fight
long.
Oh, no. No. You didn't. No. You touched him. Superman bumps into Redux.
He fake cleared it. He actually looked in that spot and turned back towards that front side. A free kill there just for Redux. upgrades into a free weapon, and now they're just pinned into the pulse plant on C side. They have to re-clear down towards C.
If he gets another one, it's bad. Oh, he does. Okeanos clears, though. 10 HP for Digizine here. He's going to be the first wall as they come into sight. That Outlaw might slow him a bit, but Sherwin can do much more just sliding in. Oh, Digizine still pushes the 10 HP. Audacity. And Okeanos even quicker, actually gets a few steps under the smoke forming, hoping it covers that audio. And it works. For the timing, it's traded. It's calm. A third round where he's the last one alive here. Will he be able to secure this? Sees it going towards half. Knows he can get one quick jump. Doesn't even get through the regen armor. Doesn't get close enough even on that one. It's going to be a hold. Cortezia fires. He runs out of the ammunition needed, and Calm comes up with a round for EG.
That's just experience from Calm, right? You're using your shock darts to try to get him off the spike. Now, as soon as you go for the retap on the side of Redux, you know that it's the low sound.
Yep.
So it wasn't even halfway, so Calm could keep playing that time.
That was a big confirmation.
But this right there has to be so frustrating, not only as a player, but for the whole team. Superman's going to hate himself for that round, if especially they lost that round for EG.
That's
Thankfully,
true.
they stopped the bleeding a bit for that round. You're able to salvage it at the end with the clutch and that 1v1 from Calm. But remember, this was a bonus round for Sentinels. They have an Odin now for Jonah P. And you have half shields for a couple of these players where that's why Jerwin pulls in again. Another Outlaw.
Walking up with it. Freely taking that space. What it also looks like Superman wants to get something back from that last round, too. He's getting active here in sewers as the team is working the left side of the map.
Drone it up, too. I don't know if it's Sock or Z on the left, though. So this is still a prime position on the defense for our Sentinels. Counter-droning back for information in the mid-round. Is Jonah P not spawning anybody yet, but you still have that aggro line of Jerwin. Yep.
Cortezia not cleared, and he's going to actually play through the utility to reposition. Redux takes his spot and actually takes a hit.
Stalls around, though, and they think they have an opening because of this lurk, but he's going to walk right into the Outlaw's position.
Oh, yeah.
Spike down.
He sort of knew.
Spike.
He sort of knew, right? He pre-fired the shot, jump spotted. They knew where the gap was. Unfortunately, just couldn't get it. Jerwin staying stoic there.
Oh, this slow lurk through sewers pays off big. Do they know they have enough time to get back in? No, it's going to get smoked off right away. And Bao is going to have to go coast to coast pretty fast because it doesn't look like Sentinels want to wait here.
Thankfully, that smoke's still up, but they got to move in quick. Shock Dart's already ready to deny that plant. It's on the back of Okeanos. Baits it out first.
Player standing.
Yeah.
No.
Spike down A.
That's tough. He sees it and getting one more. Just a consolation prize now here for EG, who had the sight but could not get the plant down. Sentinels squeeze them out of a round.
And you see the idea of what Calm was doing. It almost looked like he was giving his life away, but again, he's just trying to bait that shot. If Jerwin somehow misses that shot, it still gives more timing for Superman to come behind him and get that pick.
One enemy remaining.
There's a reason why Jerwin got picked up into this roster, right?
Yeah.
He's had so much experience coming in from the Tier 2 scene. And by the way, Jerwin, who's also tried out for EG during the offseason and lost his duelist position to Digizine right there. So for Jerwin to play against EG today, a victory for me, thinking about Jerwin would mean a lot for him. He's able to help here Sentinels convert into the 10th round and gets the collat in front of B.
A second collat of the game. For him alone, one with the Bucky on Garage, another with the Outlaw now to shut down EG on what is a hero rifle round. And they don't not gonna look like they're doing much with it, rather. But Digizine will still look here. And there it is. The rifle's taken away.
They're just desperately trying to move for a spike plant now. That's Jonah anchoring solo towards that back of that A side, but he's got the Odin to work with. He's looking pretty confident. She's on the top of heaven, even easier for him to look down that line.
One enemy remaining.
Ooh.
You gotta chuckle with that one.
If you're not a good shot,
But yeah, it definitely seems that right now the game's slipping away from the grasp of EG here. It was very back and forth, a 7-5 at the end of the halftime. But ever since this second half here for Sentinels have been playing a very strong defense
Enemy remaining.
for Sen City.
I was wondering if there would be a timeout coming through. Everything just seems a little too smooth right now for Sentinels, so even this timeout to get in the ear of EG and slow Sen down is a good thing. Potter having a talk with the crew.
Just had a little bit of a chuckle because you don't see it, chat, but we actually have an in-game feed, and then the camera was moving to the beat of the music. And I'm like, that's got to be Prius. That's signature Prius observing right there. That said, though, let's focus on what's happening within the game, too, with the conversation between EG. It almost feels like right now how they're trying to move around the map. They're still trying to find, or still able to move quite into like these line of scrimmages on different portions of that map and finding gaps here and there. But when it comes down to that solo player trying to find a hero player or something, that's something is still really missed and not checked. Or no util breaking a turret, something like that. So Sentinels, they could still play with a little bit of peace of mind, knowing that the KJ util is still quite up for most of that round here for Cortesia. You have to think things through here, especially if they want to play these slow rounds. That's some of the protocols you have to do, and you're defaulting.
Coming out of the timeout, could be to kind of set up Digi once again. Once they get to the site. A lot of, again, EG's rounds have been kind of sitting here back at the line of scrimmage, seeing if the pushes are happening again from Sentinels. And that early info would really benefit them.
Well, the early info that they got is not too much here. EG has made a lot of noise to just take Sewer's long control, but this is all a bait to start. They're trying to force the hand of players of Sentinels, maybe over-peeking on middle of garage. Shot darts are coming through, trying to break util, but the alarm bot's actually inside the garage.
Ooh.
That's a great start, though.
Hello.
That's a great start.
Jonah P getting find out. Digi down to 9. Let's see how they're going to take the rest of this round. Let's listen in.
Someone's there. I will omen blind, okay?
Okay, I'm walking right now.
I hear you. Let's pump out with my drone in your ult, then execute with my dart. I hear you. That's good. Because I have outlaw here.
Yeah, let me
Alright,
first.
let's pump right now.
I'm holding for a reckless short.
Listen, just throw wall. I'll omen ult short. Get ready? I'm gonna pump now.
Care.
Looking at heaven. Omen ult top short.
30 seconds left.
No one top corner.
Take it out.
Ready? Peek, peek, peek. 1, 2. One's flank spawn. Body back side. Body back side.
One drop.
Yeah, heard. Viper spawn. I got spam. I'm on HP. You're good.
Spike down A.
They have Viper ult.
You guys are good. You guys are good.
Last player standing.
Nice! Oh my god!
The hits from Bao, kind of realizing the Viper all dispersing where it could come from, and then the secondary shot really getting the crack on that. See how that happened, honestly. That was beautiful.
9 HP remaining on that one as well. But you see how they understand the setups and how they can try to work every single round for both of these teams. When the wall came up from Digizine, it was a simple tap as well from Jerwin through 2 smokes to get the pick as well, right? So that's just players understanding the pathing, what the agents kind of do around their kit. They're doing a lot of damage there, and yeah, indeed, that double kill from Bao was quite dirty.
That was nasty, and then Sen's like, Ewok's like, no. Let's go ahead and just give that a breath. Pauses it real quick for a timeout for their side. See ultimates coming up, maybe discussing which ones there can be used. Jerwin is going to be a big factor in this next one. Once we see that buy screen, the operators is coming out, so they have an idea of how to shut EG down and what this comeback might look like.
Yeah, this man right here, Jerwin, he's been looking quite comfortable for the last 2 games. I think his debut was quite decent. On the stage 2, he had to kind of figure out the environment of playing on the stage.
Yeah.
Now you're going to week 3, you have to try another environment again because you're playing now in a smaller stage, in a closed room environment. And there's a lot of getting used to for him. And for him to show a performance of a double outlaw kill, double Bucky kill, it's just another game for him.
It doesn't seem too affected, though.
No.
It doesn't matter who the opponent is, whether it's a 1v1, a 1v2, it takes it the same way. And like I said, even that low health play earlier, it was really good to see that was such a solid hit.
And now you're talking about the ults, and on top of that, Sentinels have purchased an op in this round. Already going into funneling towards that right side, but Jonah Peace trying to get some contacts in. Unfortunately, not hitting until Superman tries to find that timing in sewers. And they get met up by Jerwin with the operator. That's probably the first operator who's seen this map. It catches EG by surprise.
It's tough. They've kind of had that space for free for a while here. I think Sentinels realized it. Take it back with an op. Oh, hello. Eye in the sky here for Jonah P. Oh, duck. That's a tough one, but there's enough to protect him. I don't see him getting into the site even with that relay bolt. So EG is hitting with a lot, but they're not fully hitting the site.
Yeah. I mean, when the smoke's coming up and a drone pings one, you have to call for a stall.
Yeah.
And Bao feels like he could find a timing moving up towards the garage ramp solo with 3 players from Sentinels there. Not a good look, unfortunately, in EG. Yeah, they're in a tough spot now.
Sentinels has all the right angles to look at. This push here from Jerwin just lets them lock in on long garage. B's covered. Okay, they lose the operator for a moment. Jerwin gets a little happy, thinking they've got the route locked up. Who else? Calm, still going to be alive back there.
Ain't going to flank, though. He's got to plant.
No, he's not. 15 seconds. Goes to Neil for this one. And he's going to have to be praying while he's down there. This is going to be a tough round. Actually gets the damage onto Redux, but the kill's not there. And Sentinels clean that one up for another round.
Almost tried for going for that wallbang kill, but
it was close.
That ping that came out from that owl drone, it almost felt like the one reloading. That was Digizine overextending his stay right down that lane. You saw how long that drone was up in the air getting all that info.
Yeah, saw both of them.
Yeah. Again, everything locked down for Sentinels.
Match point on EG, or game point on EG's map.
Silver lining could be 12-8. 3 big ults here. They could get a lot of space. It's looking to be a garage pop, so they could try to push Jonah P away from this garage line, although Jonah P has not played this spot yet. So again, it might surprise some players here.
Oh.
But I'm liking this, right? You got to move up towards that B site. You got to force a little bit of that rotate, get into garage, and maybe get that B site garage ult from the lockdown.
Jonah gets Digi. They trade it back, though. Get some upgrades as they go through here.
There's that ult.
See, I was going to say, Jerwin has such a juicy return on investment. Everybody's got 25 armor. He's got the outlaw buy here for a final round.
You see what a difference is when you don't break that Killjoy lockdown. You can't stick. You can't still get your timing in the back of Gong. That's what we've been missing here for EG to do that kind of stuff, but at least the pit still goes out towards spawn.
Not in yet. Jerwin creating the pressure from garage. The rest of the team might try to funnel through the ult here, and they're not going to be able to funnel through much. Oh, they're going to keep the ult up and just go through because they know they have the space here. Oh, there goes the Killjoy ult. A little early. There's still a lot of time to defuse this. It's going to come down to the firefight, down to the smokes. Cortezia going for a defuse. This could be the first map for Sentinels as they're just dropping EG left and right. They retake the site. They take the map. And pretty handily, too. A nice one by Sentinels. Welcome back to VCT Americas as we hop into Bind with Evil Geniuses and Sentinels. Sentinels coming out with Haven pretty strong, and it was EG's pick. So this might be and will be an uphill battle, actually, first EG coming into Bind.
Both teams are going to play into the unknown, though, right? You haven't seen it since kickoff, and already looking at the agent select, we are also changing different comms for both teams. EG in the past were still leaning towards a double duelist, but utilizing the Yoru when it was still quite strong. But the interesting thing to keep an eye on right now is a double duelist for Sentinels, but the addition of the Harbor with the Viper for that side. I think the Harbor is going to be very good. I guess at the end of the day, White is wrong. He said 99% of the time we'll probably see Brimstone on both sides, but no Brimstones here for Sentinels.
Getting in. The players look ready. I'm sure Potter had a chance to talk with the team. They look pretty good. We saw them between games. They kind of walked by the stage, They walked by the smoothie bar, and they did not look that down. It looks like they knew exactly what was going on, EG, to bring themselves back here for the second map and make this work for themselves.
Still gonna hurt though, right? It was your map pick on the first map of Haven, and you just fell flat on your attack side. And that means now starting on your attack side on Vine, also having to think extra steps to play against this new comp from Sentinels. This is a lot of work now, not only for Calm, but for Potter and also assistant coach Cole, as on the attack EG 4-1 setup. Something that Bao has been mentioning a lot too. They want to stay as a group right now to try to go for some better executions as a team. It does do a little bit of a tap though from the other side as You do have a little bit of HP drop down here for Okeanos.
They're setting up. This is going to be great info coming in from the Trailblazer. It's going to have to activate EG on this push. They get to use the waylay again, so a little bit of info for themselves here. And, oh, Jonapi is able to just stop Digi in his tracks. Nobody else can cross the bite. And, man, what a slow down here from Sentinels. They're feeling great insight.
See how annoying this is for the wall to come through. No, it kind of just gives a chance for EG to plant, but you can take more space in the back of that site. But thankfully, Superman's able to get a pick and put it on a 4 versus 4, as now it finally opens up as the high tide falls down.
Bow on last shot. These guys are crisp with the ghost right now, and they have 3 of them, so they can keep together, keep it long range as they get that spike planted. Somewhat. Get that spike planted. They just got to source out John Cutie behind the Harbor Util. And that's to a very clean pistol round from EG, and that'll start to build the confidence they need.
That's actually quite nice for EG in the end. They're going to take advantage of that high tide falling down. So now we'll see what happens as we move through. I mean, as the high tide comes down, they have the cove on the right side, so you're just kind of naturally filtering everybody from the side of Sentinels over on the left of that site. So it just allows here EG to have more bodies and pick them off. Going into this bonus round for EG. Same look rather. All 4 of them trying to move forward, and even then trying to get a cove up just to get an orb. Break it, get a kill. That's huge right now. And confidence for EG.
Ooh, actually thought he threw that nade against a wall for a second. Still gets it out long. They're fine, forced to back off, but there's a whole battalion here for the side of Sentinels ready to guard on that B. Have Hookah lockdown so they know this hit is not for real just yet.
All right, they're going to be fine here for EG. You just got to stand still. Going to catch some players off the rotate. If not, go for an exec. You still have bodies. You still have better weapons. This is a clean anti-eco so far for the Evil Geniuses. That dog doesn't really clear under Hookah, so that's going to be the next step to clear when you start walking in now for Evil Geniuses.
Nice entry by Okeanos to get a little elevation there. I should be able to just drop these classics down quick, right? A classic and a bandit. John, again, behind the Harbor Util. He always plays it so sneaky. They know he's there, but like, we can't do anything just yet. Buy a little time for Redux.
Enemy remaining.
Ooh. Just buys himself a ticket straight back to spawn, and Bao's going to do the same for John Cutie. A second round for EG, only losing 1 in the first 2, or 2, I should say. 1 around for the first 2.
Once the economy starts building up as well into the later rounds, we'll see if Redux is going to pull out the operator for the side of Sentinels. That was probably one of the biggest win cons as well for the Sentinels in that kickoff game. Nary was the one playing the chamber and I think dropping over 20 kills in that matchup.
He swung, he swung, he swung!
So that could be, again, that win con that you might have now for, I guess maybe even Jerwin could do it for the team too. Both of these guys are prominent with the ops. Scopes would be good, but after losing pistol and your eco here, not doing too much damage against the opponents, it's hard for you to build that econ up.
Ooh. Oh, the shower play. Dizzy's had to be scared now. Didn't even have the second come out. They left him wondering, but Okeanos still gets a play across the map. Now, do they go fast or slow it down? I mean, I think they're forced to slow it down now. What a shot to take down Superman. Oki looks like he wants to dive in. They're going to waterfall out of Hookah. Doesn't look like EG's too deterred by losing some members, and that's exactly the way they need to play right now. They can't be worried about what Sentinels is doing. They have to play their own game.
I felt like Cortesia's gun was sticking out to his own wall, so got easily punished. That's an upgrade for EG on a 3 versus 3, and they have positioning inside this site. Nobody playing off. Trying to delay towards that spawn to give that timing for Calm to flank.
A jump over top, and they find one close, but it's still a trade. Sentinels are in the site, and they're making quick work of the rest of the members of EG. Okeanos with his quiet shoes on, and it's not quiet enough. John Cutie will always know. Gets the kill there, and the defuse comes through.
Apologies, Okeanos was on that flank and not for Calm here, wrapping towards that elbow.
Easy mistake.
Yeah.
You're always going to think that's coming.
Ends up still being quite good for EG, winning this, or at least getting a plat down on the bonus round too, and making it slightly expensive on the camp of Sentinels. Even though they felt like, especially from that expression from Potter, that they should have had that round down. Because two of them were actually playing in a double swing scenario if they could to fight towards that spot and give that timing for Okeanos. But at the end of the day, you had to delay a little bit more and not be so aggro if Oki doesn't have that timing. Ooh. Yeah, double on the top is interesting because now Redux is going to show himself. And if he drops down towards the EPC, they'll never expect Jerwin on the top of that truck as well.
They still have shower cover from that position too, so they can keep it until a real tight situation comes up. All right, Seekers online. Don't have too much left side of the map cleared, so Seekers could get them a shot at B back. But right now, they're over towards A.
I've got your
It'll be a simple Seekers from that side too.
Yeah. Dumping in the util. Here comes the delay. Okeanos not going to worry about it too much as he gets a full waylay push in, doesn't take the refract. But where's the pressure? Oh! Jerwin righties himself. Takes down Okeanos quick. And they stall it on that. There's a lot of space just gained by one. Losing their U-Haul control mostly. They have to take everything back slow again. Ooh, that'll help. Digizine coming up from showers, and he sees a few more. They have to worry about what's going on the left side of the map, though. Is Superman going to be able to get a kill? Do they turn back and get a TP? They're really pausing here on A.
It's nice for them to do this, actually, for EG. They are looking to refight, though, into the A site for a plant, but that duel finally comes in for Jerwin's advantage. The lurk, not working either.
And they just TP'd. So now it's going to be a ready Cortezia. Anchor King so far for his team in these games, and it looks like he's going to ask for the crown once again. A triple kill as they're forced into his arms, his waiting arms in B.
I still like what EG is currently doing in terms of this mid-round, because this high tide is so annoying to deal with, right? With the exception of Okeanos pushing towards that back of the U-Haul and losing that fight, I mean, they tried to pop flash for him to fight towards backside. I understand that. But for the rest, they wait for the high tide to come down. There's not too much room to be able to stall anymore for that side on defense here for the side of Sentinels. So we're actually able to go for some nice duels and pick some players off. So at the end of the day, if they continue this type of style here for EG, firepower might get them out of these tight scenarios. Because there's going to be less util to block vision for the side of the defense. And you get to have your star players like Digizine and Superman going for these picks.
Oh, Jonah P covered well in Trailblazer form. And then he doesn't even need it after the fact. They're trying to rush in. We see Orbital strike up and one, so they're going to try to get the smokes down and see if they can't make something happen. Slows it down. We have to get this so quick at the beginning of these rounds, and Sentinels react so well. But these are even numbers here, and if they can circumvent Redux's outlaw and get close, they could have a sight to themselves.
The thing is right now, though, with these picks that they just got in the eco for EG and switching around some weapons, they might take advantage of this convergence path to hit. I know Karma to use his flash in the front of that hookah side on that drop. But maybe the third on a refreshable will allow for them to pop back into the A site where there's only Redux watching it passively. And there you go. That answers our question. It's Redux going to be the one scoping for the team for now on this raise.
30 seconds left.
And they're walking right back into that outlaw. Have a bit of HP for it. No, they don't. I was looking at Sentinel side for a moment. That's going to clear all of them. Do they use the convergence path? They hit with a guiding light just across the front of the site. No confirmation, so the smokes deem it safe to plant. Special delivery right onto the spike. Actually, a little left. Damage is still dealt, though. A Harbor all cruising through the site as Cortezia creeps up like a rat. Gets another one for himself. The push is good, though, from Okeanos, needing to make a move. He can't wait for the action to come to him. Misses a few shots. And now Redux is knowledgeable about the situation. There's just a lot of stall going on right now, but Sentinels is getting closer and closer to the spike, and that's exactly what EG doesn't want. Oh, Okeanos fixing the aim and sitting Sentinels down.
And he's standing up, but stays super quiet. That face that he has was what he had when he walked into the arena today.
Yeah.
Tried to say hi to him, just a fist bump, straight face. He wants to win this game, and he just carried EG on that round.
Holy moly, a Red Bull clutch that will kick EG into gear. It's exactly what they need right there. But they got to keep it going. Sentinels, I mean, both of them on Haven did such a good job of punching back at each other. Let's see what can happen here.
They do have an attack side scope, though, for Digizine after that round. And it's good. Look at the economy for the side of Sentinels. Every one of them one-shottable. And that is in the hands of the one that has the most op kills on this stage in the Americas, currently at 17. Neon's at 16, just one under him.
Poison's off.
Clear towards long. No info for Sen, so they're going to keep their position right now off of that Jonah P flash. Actually, flash back as well, so they get a little info that EG is searching the left side of the map, and even more so ready for a hit on the right, that is a fake. Both teams reading each other really well right now.
So right now, Digizine's just creeping out, and I think what they could do right now as well is if they really want to try to hit towards the site, you might be able to just dash in and recall for Okeanos to get the info where the players of defense could be.
In out. Digizine trying to make an impact here, getting a scatter from Sentinels, but they still have a bit of control over the positions because Cortezia holds that short side. They can still fight from it. Okeanos finally cracks the defense a little bit more, but it is EG dwindling in this situation before Digi now drops one. The answer of Jerwin and Jonah P, however, weigh the odds in Sentinels' favor now as they enter, look for Calm, and take him down right away. Sentinels do indeed take it right back.
Very nice for Redox on the top of the boxes to protect his teammate inside that pit too for Cortezia. So all he needs to do is focus towards that front side. Takes down that lurk again. It almost feels the game plan is really to try to pit Superman against Redux so far in these fights of Bind. But it's always Superman that gets tied down.
Down Aspas, adding mini Pook to the equation doesn't matter.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
Perfect.
Thank you, Zelsis, for the added analysis
Yes.
on that one.
Try it. Well played, well played. Round 7 as we jump back into Bind. It's going to be a few of those scopes over on the side of EG, but it's all the lower buys with a hero, Okeanos.
It's a walk contact in the beginning. I mean, the econ's fairly low. Trying to leverage, again, Digizine to find an opener. But so far, in all of these rounds where you're seeing these different setups from Sentinels, they're not really letting themselves exposed to op lines, scope lines, which is quite good. With the exception of that jump shot in the very beginning for Cortezia. We're going to leave that into his hands where he's not going to be punished too many times for those jumps.
Everybody's creeping back. You hear that? Marshall shot, you know there's going to be follow-up. They're trying to get a sneaky kill on, and they don't want to get caught by Digizine there. So as EG goes back and forth, inserting now Okeanos into Hookah, making sure Long is covered. And they have something towards Shower. Usually Superman just really trying to get an effect on the last portion of a play. Let's see if he can get the backstab onto Jonah P this time. Into sight. Redux still from elbow, uncovered when one flash hits him in the face. The rest of the team comes up big to slow EG down. And yeah, they've already gone and left. Superman's over there being able to get a few, but the round is dusted here for Sentinels.
At this point, too, especially on eco rounds, it's starting to be readable, too, that EG are consistently going for these 4-1 scenarios. Which is why every single time right now, Sentinels are never really rotating an extra player or fully clearing out of sight because they always expect Superman to be moving up somewhere. So, to me, I feel like EG is going to have to change up that scenario a little bit more, be aggro as a team, especially potentially being able to get an orb control under Superman in the next round will allow for them to go for a pit.
Just so comfortable for them right now.
Yeah. Like I said, nobody's really pushed down any lines so far here for Sentinels. They're able to anchor perfectly. When they're trying to jump out, there's still too much utility for EG to deal with to enter the sites. Especially with the way that Cortezia has been anchoring so far. He's put up huge numbers also at kickoff when they had to play against 100 Thieves. Actually, not kickoff, sorry. When he was playing under the MIBR banner against 100 Thieves, he was putting immense numbers on this map as well. So quite a dangerous character to play against on this map.
EG with a timeout here at 3-4. And it's not a normal EG we're seeing either. They are locked in, but there's also, like you said, the serious phase for Okeanos. Sometimes that's more standing up, getting in the face of the opponents, but they don't have that luxury right now. Everything's got to be more locked into the game.
Yep.
Really nothing else surrounding that competition but focus, teamwork, and comms. And they got to figure out where that's going to come from now, because Sentinels have the answer in spades to just keep doing what they're doing and kind of slowing EG down to a pace that's uncomfortable.
So you're seeing after this timeout, almost looked like Superman is trying to meet up with the team, and they're going to set up this molly to try to take some early B control. I think they also want to take advantage of what the speed of this Neon and Waylay can very much do here for a team. Jura wants to answer back, though. Wall up to see if anything was happening towards Sands.
Ooh, big detection there off that. Flash coming in from Jonah P. And a little bit of a heal from the follow-up util that may have followed through. Still, they left one in the teleport, though, having the Neon run out. I wonder if they're going to be aware of this. TP's back across. They're not even going to want to play with B at the moment.
Double orb to get the ult here for Okeanos. So it's not the pit, the win con. It's the entry here. That's not even needed. Nice entry by Digizine.
Takes down Jerwin right away. They'll still have to clear U-Haul. Oh, that's a big one. Redux is just going to try and create a trap in here, and he does a very nice job. He's only down for one, though. Can't ask for much more when you got a whole team bearing down on him. But Sentinels is already in the site. They've made such time here. And now the noise is U-Hauls. The rest of the team creeps behind enemy lines already as they take this space back. Nobody's on the spike. No taps just yet to get the team to come back around, and Comm knows this space needs to be re-cleared. Super well played, as they're aware of what's going on, even if their backs were turned on the side of Evil Geniuses. And they stave off Sentinels without really even seeing them on the retake. Comm there to get a last touch on the round. That was nice.
Little molly underground, too. Not even allowing Sentinels to get it at half. But it all came down to a huge opener right here. The walk contact, catching Jerwin off guard without using any util. Then they open up the site that way. And a nice little shot that we saw from Redux from U-Haul. That was actually quite insane as he's hit by the convergence path and still hits a Neon, jumping across his screen. They're planning to set up to stall here towards the A side. That orb being thrown up just to delay if they do hear some noise from Sentinels on EG's exit on that A side. But they want to stop that right away. Look at Redux moving forward with the operator to cover up towards Palm.
The solo move, too. Ready for a kill, maybe a blast pack out, or just ready to go down with the ship. He won't get anything just for yet. No.
This setup that Sentinels currently has right now, though, leaves a huge gap towards Showers. So as that smoke disappears towards that front side that they just did, and this Viper wall comes down as well in a defense, they're going to have to start repositioning. There you go. You see John Cuny moving back to watch towards that side passively. Although EG, they don't really know that yet because they never really inserted anybody at that spot to try to create any pressure. Superman slowly is trying to find his timing, too.
Util back and forth. It's kind of just a deter U-Haul. They have another one? Looking at Comm. Yeah, Comm's still good for another one. Just a miss. They're going to try to get back into this?
Yeah.
They said one shot, you know he's going to back off, so see if you can keep them on their heels. A nice wall to divide the site, kind of create the double retake here that's necessary for EG. And they're just going to pit themselves in as they go ahead and crawl right to that plant spot.
That actually walled Okeanos.
Up top, great elevation coming in from Oki as he gets into the face of John Cuny as well, pushing Spawn. 2 left for Sen here. EG watched them walk away last round, and they're going to have to find him this round. 11 seconds left. Spike's going to have to get picked up, and it's actually crossfired from both sides. This is not looking good. That's Sentinels picking up the round in a position they never should have been able to grab it.
Yeah, especially with the space that Okeanos just took from dashing up there. He solo-handedly cleared the back of the site, yet somehow EG still couldn't set up on A. Thankfully, you still see a little bit of a smile on his face, though.
I think maybe it's because they have an answer. They know they can do it, right? They're just, it's one part of the round that they have to clean up. Should be able to do it. Should be able to make this one competitive.
But that's Sentinels, sorry, for those 2 occasions. Having some great flanks coming in, too, from the back line. It's not really being looked at by the side of EG. Somehow, as they're still playing 4-1s, there's still some gaps that are left unattended, and Sentinels are taking full advantage of it.
Oh, the Seekers go right to B. EG knows they have A, but the TP comes in. This is about the setup now. We're right to the portion where EG needs to fix, and we get to see it happen now with a 5v5. They have a lower buy on a few, some Guardians in there, and Jerwin gets him off to the races right away with a kill on Digizine, one of the best to start off with. A breather moment between both teams as the walls are up, and this is Sentinels trying to encroach back into space. Nice from Okeanos to find the elevated shot. It's not over yet. Still a lot of Sentinels members trying to bear down on this. Oh my gosh, Okeanos right in the frying pan. And it's SEN have swarmed the spike. This now puts the pressure onto EG, who felt good before, and 3 come up right away in succession with the molly on the floor. Bao gets 2 classics, and that is a round that EG pick up for themselves that didn't look like it was going to go their way.
How do you finish a round with a molly and 2 classics for the victory for EG? That was insane. But the game plan was already drafted out by Sentinels in the first place. They were looking to flood retake behind that Reckoning. That A site was just a ruse to let EG go in and get trapped by it. And as it got so much value on that Reckoning, though, it was the high tide that followed up again. And what happens after the high tide?
Let's go.
They wait for that high tide to come down, and they isolate every single one of these fights, winning their fights for the side of EG. It almost feels like the high tides currently being thrown by Sentinels are more of a deterrence than anything else. That puts now the defensive team on the eco. Bucky for Jerwin, pushed all the way up towards short A.
Orbital strike used. There hasn't really been a lot of post-plant in this game, so you have to suspect that's used mid-round, and then just a continuous fight we see once the spike does get planted with this bind match. Thrin, Jonah P, trying to rip off a few shots that might find ahead of Evil Geniuses, but no cigar. They still stop it. They're really trying to go for the mind games now to just make these last few rounds feel uncomfortable for Sentinels, and just gives Jonah some space. You can't give him that shot. He'll hit it every time. Oh, goes back into it. And yeah, he's got help now. Look at them, that all just, they wait and they stand there. Hey, Jonah, we're here. Party start. He's like, hey, guys, the party's over. We got to go back to the other site. It's just EG. They seem to be taking too much time for themselves here, and it does not give them any space. Now it's going to be a double Bucky, a triple. Oh, that one doesn't take down the rest of the team, but Cortez is there to get the finishing touches. And yeah, they got the double swing. Don't even need it. Redux gets another one. And EG, it looked like they had the round, but then indecision that came in with Jonah's kills just made everything muddy.
I think there was a little bit of miscomms from both sides, though. As Jonah, yes, lands 2 beautiful shots. What happens after? They high tide to allow EG to just pick up their own spike, but also they wasted Seekers behind it where they can't capitalize on it because of the high tide. So it still gives the swing back in favor of EG because they have weapons back towards the A side on a 3 versus 1. And that one singular person had a Bucky to work with, right? Where's the follow-up behind the Neon jumping around? And why is the Neon just stopping on the bench?
Yeah.
Continue to jump around. Find the info for your team so they can trade off on you.
Already 8 seconds into the round, and Digizine's going to rip off the ultimate. Team comes through with a teleporter, and Sentinels is ready to attack with one of their own. Oki, he's saying only 1 taps. He's going to keep doing it, though. That's what they need. And it slows. Everybody takes a breather. Spike has just walked itself into hookah, but it looks like Sentinels is just setting up to let EG feel comfortable and then re-attack. Ultimate goes down back a site. No confirmation there, but they still get a little bit of space. And they plant towards spawn. Kind of flip the map on this one, but they don't have full control of the other side either.
Showers is going to be hard to come out of, especially when Okeanos has his convergence path. He's already setting it up.
Oh, they're creeping out. So they're going to be hidden already. Oki's trying to see if he can catch that come around, and they, I mean, Bao thought he was being watched. Who's going to be next here? Oki fixes it. Oh my God, he's pointing to the fences and he is swinging for him as well. Cortesia to close down on a few kills. Can these two do it again? And Superman gets a bite down onto the spike. It's not going to be enough. The defuse actually should be okay as he gets back down onto it. Another round coming in for Sentinels as Cortesia gets the defuse to end that first half with momentum in Sen hands again.
And what a shot by Cortesia. You had to be quick on a reaction with a small jiggle snake bite on the ground. Yet, a small mistake on that 1v1. Because you still have to think about 3.5 seconds for Cortesia to stick on that spike. That gives you time to swing out and go for the molly. But these small mistakes capitalize for the round where it's the same ending for the first half. 7-5 for Sentinels.
Second half of Bind after the break. Don't go anywhere.
Red Bull gives you wings.
We are back with VCT Americas match one of the day. In our second map, EG trying to bring us to a third here on Sentinel's pick of Bind. Sen with a 7-5 first half, and EG, it looks like they're finding a groove there at the end of the first half. It looks like they can strike true, but they got to get this pistol.
I mean, it came down with a lot of hero plays from Okeano, so to clear a lot of line of sights. And despite some of those occasions, they still lost a round. You know what I mean? So it's looking very tough right now.
Yeah, that was a 3K on the last one that they couldn't bring through.
Exactly.
It's tough.
I'm out of here.
On defense, though, we'll have to think about what Sentinels will be thinking about with this harbor around this double duelist, which right now, at least in terms of util, it's fairly similar to what the Brimstone could do. You could still block the same spot, maybe even more when it comes down to your side execs. You see right now as everybody's being grouped up here towards Sentinels that could really slice out towards U-Haul and all the way of Triple.
Bye. We're good.
Cut the natural smoke order of 3 across. Showers a little late, but they're trying to get coverage here. Oh my God, Bao's just skirting the war line. Who's going to be first to get the fight in? They are surrounding it, almost everybody within touching distance at this point, and it's going to be the first one in U-Haul. Digi with the bandit just pickpocket onto Jerwin there as we get some neon action. But yeah, EG doesn't want to fully commit here. They like that they got some numbers, and that's a good look.
Yeah, I wonder what good stalls we had there on the other side. I think it was a relay bolt for the Jazine as well. Kind of kept Sentinels on their tracks, on their toes, holding back towards that front default. Maybe it was no util at all. Maybe they're just tapping and waiting here for Sentinels, but they definitely got punished out of it. Now getting caught one by one.
Little reset there as the team helps each other out. A very calm pistol round here from EG. It's like they didn't get sucked into the chaos of Sentinels trying to get in fast under that wall.
Yeah. It was a big important fight too that was won by Bao into Showers.
Yeah.
When you're looking at it here from the minimap on the replay, it almost seems like it was just a simple Brimstone smoke. That kind of just kept Sentinels hesitating to move inside that site to plant.
Nice! Let's go! We got a pistol!
Always got to be wary. Always got to be wary of potential shorties in there. It's funny, he says we got pistol, but he got both pistols at this half,
I think he said we got pistols.
Yeah.
Maybe. It'll be more. Maybe it'll be more. Achieve the bonus. Achieve the consecutive round status. Oh, no. Back to the lab again. Redux takes down Okeanos there. Gets in his face with the classic. As Jonah P will take some damage here, but easily gets the plant down and sets up with the team for the post.
Please don't give me a replay of that one. Reminder, don't. Because that's going to hurt. You're going to have to rewatch it from Okeanos' point of view, but at least they got weapons for EG to flood back in. They also already have control at the back of that site. There's no post-plant util to stall for the side of Sentinels with this comp.
Tucks a flash in, a nice relay bolt, clears to the right, but only for so long. Ooh, they eat one back too. That's gonna be tough.
Get out of here.
Trades. Cove is up. They try to get themselves back in on this one.
Thrifty.
Oh my gosh, Redux just running through as soon as he knows everybody's trying to play VIP on the spike and make quick work of EG.
You can only imagine how that round could have looked like if Redux actually died on the top of truck. No, don't do that, don't do that. Right-click classic, picks it up, and at the end of the day, he gets 4 kills in that round.
But they got pistol. He was so happy.
Yeah.
Vans. Not like this.
Yeah, see, Oki.
You can see the despair. Yeah, it's tough.
To see that happen before your eyes and then just look at the kill feed, still lighting up Redux for the side of Sentinels is frustrating for sure. And EG goes into a Bucky buy for 3 players there. 2 of them settled up towards this A side as they're controlling here U-Haul in the front of the jump box of short A.
Playing outside the range of this util. Okay, gets seen there for a moment. I think he had his Bucky out too, so they know there's some shotgun trickery going on around the map.
It's not too bad. I almost felt like the refract was kind of wasted, but he still jumped out in the front before TPing back. Could have gone some information, but there was already a defensive smoke being thrown by Bao.
Oh, look at the weight. Look what the weight is doing.
That's what I'm saying.
Smoke's down.
That timing is incredible too. Just doing about a 50-second hit here. Calling their rotation from EG back to their side, and the wall gives them so much safety to get the plant down. And either side, that works for default if they want to plant default, or plant the other side, putting up the shield of smoke. Easy.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to cross through this, but might have some Bucky-to-Bucky action.
Ooh. Redux clears both. Jonah P on another, and they just have so many angles watched. They don't have to second guess. Easy trust in the teammates. A flawless round coming in from Sentinels.
Yeah, so as I mentioned, like the one single dog that was thrown here by Sentinels on the short A side forced out the refract, a jump spot, and a smoke from the brimstone.
Yeah.
Once they realize that there's no noise being made and they're still blocking their own vision here for EG because of that smoke, you don't really know where that mid-rounding is going because they've already flashed early on the B side to get info, if I'm not mistaken, right? So they gamble for the early rotate towards that B side. They read incorrectly. Sentinels just goes for the pop back into the right side of the A site. Now a 5-man hit. They are paying to be careful of that pushdown on that flank for EG, but most of the resources is just to try to clear this hookah spot first.
Bao gets one, but trades over the Vandal. That's going to be tough for the rest. Redux gets ult out of that too for next round here. EG have to make an impact. Almost keep everybody alive, get the economy up for these next rounds here.
I like the Cortez, was actually the high tide from John Cutie.
Yeah.
He throws it on the side, it splits out hookah, but at the same time, if you're still trying to throw these same walls on exits, it still allows for you to like squeak out from the front of that B side into the shed and also block vision from U-Haul, from the elbow on that B side if you want to try to flood out a hookah. So it could be some interesting splits that they could do with that potentially here for Sentinels with that type of wall.
Okay, so EG has basically all the info right now. Maybe they could be going through hookah, but this pinch is crazy. You have Supermen coming around, still have showers control, and you should be able to just tack down on with Okeanos if they do want this site. Do Sen wait to see if they've been flanked? John already knows. But they turn. He gets the timing. That's one. It hasn't clicked in yet for Jonah P, and he's going to get time for 2 as Superman gets a huge flank. And that's going to be enough. Cortezia has to rush back over. 15 seconds isn't there. EG slip around in before Sen run away with too much momentum.
Turns out good here for Superman with the timing with that Phantom. You saw even Cortezia is trying to do a little bit of econ damage before he falls down.
Yeah.
But the idea there was, you talked about a good timing on the flank. The only difference is right there is that if you actually did go for the pressure, you could TP back towards Hookah, where Cortezia already took that space on B. That's why you had to activate it a little bit more quickly, especially when the dog came out to clear info on short A side. Thankfully, Superman was able to tighten up his laces here and capitalize on that 2K.
Yeah. Such a nice change. All that space being taken instead of kind of seeing EG rotate back through their spawn at that 50-second mark. They were taking all map they could.
Oh, they're expecting this right now for the Sentinels.
Oh! This is in! One more! Oh, Cortezia will not allow for one of the cleanest aces we could have had in VCT Americas. And he'll stay alive again, just about deja vu from where we saw him last round here to start off now with a minute left, though.
Poison's off.
Whoa.
Zix's watch party is going to be happy right now just seeing one guy walk down. Of course, it was a flash to support for him to swing out, but those isolated frags coming out from DGZine was just beautiful.
This little setup flash there that we had to turn from Calm. And Cortezia. Just to figure out where, when, and how.
Yeah.
4 more times.
And they were looking at that angle the whole time for Sentinels. They had 3 guys just crouching, standing in front of each other to make sure of that lockdown.
Van Silly?
Nah.
Van Silly?
No.
He actually had time to reset there too? Yeah. That's scary stuff. He is in different form this season, but EG, they're getting into a different form right now. The last few rounds looking clean behind each other and building that momentum necessary, especially off what Digi does here. Let's...
One enemy remaining.
A lot of collats this game. Love to see it.
Oh my god! Hookah might ping here.
You have an IGL just hyping up his teammate. The other one's just like, I think I know where the last guy is.
How is he there, but also on street? Man. And, I don't like, Center's still in pretty good position here. It is 9-8, but I think you just call a timeout after that because you don't let that momentum slide.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
That's potentially the thing too when EG realizing that that Sentinels are playing this double duelist, right? A Jet and a Raze. They might want to try to pop quick behind the utility, so you might not bring out an operator on the attack side. So you go with the gamble, you walk down, you try to just force that line. And getting great value out of it. Something that I'm going to have to start identifying here for Sentinels where these walk pushes are working out in the favor of EG. Just previously, we had the flank from Superman, from gaps that weren't being exploited, and as I'm criticizing Sentinels about it, it was something similar that went for EG in the first half when they were playing the attack side as well, right? You always had Cortezia, somebody else slipping through the net and being able to get some backstabs.
Big operator up. Digizine, and they're going to push it too. It's not to hold a fast line, it's to get in the face to get the first line. Oh, I feel like Cortezia has a 6th sense on this too. He's like his gun is right there with the judge waiting.
I'd be even down to see Okeanos pull out the refract and start walking down and clear out the left side so you get an even deeper line. But instead, it's Sentinels that takes the first upper hand.
Ooh, doesn't know where he went. It's almost no time to find it, right? You got to look for the next target. Very nice decision making by Redux. Oh my God, the acquisition there of what to do next. Super clean for the young player. And now they're going to get a pit in sight. A little bit of breathing room now to set up and steal this timeout back for themselves and get momentum.
That was a huge showstopper kill there too, but the Seekers are getting information inside that showers and playing a little bit more further back, but it's a judge inside the pit.
And they have to go so far too to source these players. It's awkward, losing so much health. Just having to breathe deep as you go in for the fight here. 3 members of EG left. They try to push on behind each other, figuring out what angle needs to be cleared. Redux with 2 more on the round for 3. And this is just going to be Calm looking for solace here. Safety in U-Haul, and it looks like he's still going to be sourced out. Not enough for the 4K. And an Uno Mas on to John Cutie. Gets himself to safety there. But Sentinels, the timeout, is good for a W.
Yeah. At the end of the day, you still had a refract and walk through from Okeanos, but this time towards triple into Showers. So he's able to nullify the first pick, but he tried to stall with the convergence pass and goes for the dash away. And if he stayed alive, maybe it would have been something that would have been leaning more towards EG's favor. Yeah. But the Rock had taken him down. Doesn't give a chance here for the Op to get any value for the Jazeen because of Cortesia's pit outside on the A side, and they held that like a fortress. Odin, Judges, Util, just too much to deal with for EG, and they couldn't close that entry.
Oh, almost 2. Just a little indecisive between the targets, and that gives Digizine a kill. Moving in now, the Operator's out of the play, so they're going to keep going back to Vandals, playing it close to the chest. So far favors EG with 1. Redux waiting for somebody to peek their head out. Anybody out of place.
Let's try to find him.
Oh, most got it. Oh, actually gets taken down on the way back to safety.
And that's an audio call. Because he had Okeanos, it's like you all heard the satchels. Digizine clears it, but then Jonah P answers back with the Odin of his own, spamming into triple.
Calm getting some frequent flyer miles here. But they're actually going to be ships in the night in this one.
Missing a layover.
Yep. Going all the way back through. They're going to even peek to make sure it's safe for the time. Oh, no. No, okay. Does he? Are you that thorough, Cortesia? Okay, they turn around. There'd be a lot of commitment to go all the way back down the cave and through. So they're going to get a site to themselves, but they are down a player. So it's going to be important how they set it up, and John will have ult for this. So they give it to Jonah P to get another point. The considerations if they think they have time.
I feel they have to go a little bit more quickly. You can't give an orb away. You're wall contacting red. You can't give your position out. And now Calm clears towards short. We should have seen a rotate a long time ago here from EG.
They're too confident in just thinking the U-Haul play is where they're going to be there. They still sent 2 there. Thinking at the last moment it's going to be U-Haul.
Maybe they all thought that Sentinels were sucking in their stomachs right around the corner.
Hey. Could be a crazy play. Everybody's going to be elbow, though. Oh, no.
Orbital strike, though, for Bao.
1, 2. Almost a third one as they line him up. Bao cleans him. 10 HP here. John Cutie goes for the peek to see if he can't pick one off right away. And it is going to be the defuse. EG keep themselves racking up the rounds. And they keep a few players alive on this one, too.
Yeah, again, some great comms coming through here on the defensive anchor holds by EG. That first fight into the Showers was nice to have that buddy system, too. Remember when I was talking about on that first map where Bao felt like he never could really play that game against us sliding a limb over against FURIA. This time they have a buddy system with him, too, just to make sure that they can at least trade things out, and they make it out on this cave, too, on that solo slide of Jerwin.
Way more active around the map, whether it's been Superman or Calm. They're just sourcing somebody to be a walker now that seems to give them the upper hand in these rounds, at least for getting back in, having positioning on what Sen's doing. Oh, that looks like they actually stopped the Zerg of Sentinels on this. They want it in. Oh, he catches the toes of Redux, a big stub there. And he's happy to still sit, knows nobody can really contest around that corner. And that does slow Sentinels from their original play. It's got to be an audible now.
They use that dog, too, to try to clear out towards that pit to follow up with it. So they have no extra util to really push Superman away from his position here. So that pit's going to stay up, even re-healed by Calm. Huge advantage for EG in this round, too, with one of the big lanes blocked off. And now isolating players and funneling them right into the scope of Digizine.
Oh, I was going to say, oh no, it's the moment he's moving, but it doesn't matter what he's doing. He just hits the shot clean. It didn't even look like the dot was back on the scope then. He backs up, plays his life, and makes it feel even weirder for Sen to push up here to get him off an angle even further away.
I think that might even be a call for a save for the rest of Sentinels. Remember, they bought down to almost nothing.
Yeah.
All at half shields and having to play against an outlaw. Yeah, they're deciding that for sure for John Cutie. No wall contact, they can't leverage the ult either because they have such a disadvantage.
10
In terms of numbers and also in terms of ults. Com's trying to chase down for a kill, but Cortesia is going to punish him.
There's the neon, fall back, and then he just... Oh, that's funny. 10-10 though. EG, keep bringing it back to even here. They have what it takes. It's just they got to source a few rounds together and really do some damage to the SEN economy so they can't feel so comfortable on pushing through these strats. Whew. And gets him on the crouch too, trying to get under what an Opera would be looking at. Or even a scope, rather.
Yeah.
And here's another one of those timeouts. Oh, Ewok's being dirty with these the moment EG gets a foot in the door.
It's definitely an interesting timeout. Or, sorry, not interesting, important timeout.
Maybe, yeah.
Because they see 3 weapons out of that. Right, that means that a couple of players maybe will have to go into the next round buying full shields, but you've only saved 1,000 credits going to the next round for those 3 or the remaining 3 players of Sentinels. And remember, they still had the the reckoning from the side of John Cutie, so they could try to retake a site or flood a site literally. They might try to find a play around that.
Looks like he's listening now. Little switch up with the team coming back as they're going back and forth. This is going to be their last time out. EG might have one they can squeeze in if Potter doesn't like what she sees here between the last few rounds. It's going to be very, very important, and it's a nice one to have saved up too, because Sentinels always come out of these swinging, and I wonder where the percent for win rate is on their timeouts right now. It seems like they've gotten every one that they've taken.
So it definitely looks like they're invested in the extra armor that's needed within this round. Redux.
Yeah.
Maybe to try to challenge against Dijazine, but again, that reckoning, we're going to have to keep an eye on what John Cutie wants to set this up with. To kick things off, though, it's a little bit of Showers control and maybe an orb for Redux here, too. They're actually going to fully give up that space without even really picking up the orb in the first place.
I like it. They did this about 50 seconds last time, because that's when Com tried to get some sight on. This time earlier, 1:15, they Trailblazer. So, I mean, maybe they know he's there now. I'll just pick it up. Uh-oh. If they hear him pick it up.
I even misses him.
Yeah.
You're hoping his stall is going to be good towards that B side, because that's an opening for Sentinels to take.
They're trying to hit it. Hookah control is good here. They can kind of crossfire each other, but I don't know if that smoke, with that smoke up, they're going to be able to protect Supermen. Alt pushes them all back, floods them out of sight, but Sen hasn't flooded in just yet. Now they start to go in. Everybody's staying backside too, not even worrying about elbow with all of the high tied up.
Right, Superman somehow gets the wallbang kill from the back. Trophy glass into the site.
This is a big round for EG. They got to come out of this strong. Dijazine comes up with a huge shot on top of the tub. Can they get Jonah P out of this situation, though? He's just going to start letting this loose as soon as he sees any util or a body come around that corner. One down. Oh, the double setup just left the shoulder peeking on the other side, and Jonah P's there for another as he gets a quick turn. This one falling apart for EG. It looks so good. But now he just squeezes himself into the corner, and yeah, that's going to be Jonah P scratching the back of Com to get a 3K on the round.
Not only are they going to be duels at ping pong, but also duels holding a B site on a 2v4. That was impressive by Jonah P.
Yeah.
That to still have util too. It even flashes Cortesia. Maybe there was a miscomm going through there too, but Cortesia had to find his own timing. So it picks up his kill, gets flashed, but still allows Jonah P to still win the other 1v1. Oh my God, was that beautiful.
It's the 1-2 punch from Ewok there.
Yeah.
Out of last week, we had, when Sentinels got their victory, the Jonah P interview, and he said right after the game, it felt really good to hear Ewok come up and say, you know, you sounded like a leader that game.
Yeah.
We played like a leader. So yeah, Jonah P is definitely getting back into that groove.
And you just talked about it. Potter might have a timeout still if there's something that she doesn't like.
Yeah,
but quite honestly with you, it's not necessarily her fault of what happened or EG's fault with what happened within that round. Because you had the wallbang kill from Superman into the site. You had a beautiful outlaw kill on the top of site. And then when they tried to flood retake, it was an Odin that just messed everything up. Just great positioning in the end here for isolating different fights for Sentinels on a 2v4 that went in their favor.
Yeah.
when you don't have too much util left for the flood retake, it's hard, right? So the timeout's mostly to focus on what's happening within the next couple of rounds. Money's still available for Digizine to pull out another op.
That's true.
Superman with a Bucky, though. I think he's going to play that more towards this B site. And look at that, the readjustment is not on, guys, it's okay what happened in the last round. It's like, how can we win this round? 4 players stacked up at the beginning on this side, but finally Superman decides to move back here towards A to control this U-Haul. This might be one of those looking at the B fight, then crunch right into the showers.
Up online. I mean, they're still waiting on this info. They're going to go for the TP play.
You got to.
They have to be there right away. U-Haul's actually getting squished in. Bao holds one, turns around. Superman with another one as he racks that shotgun to get ready for a play. Jonah P sits him down. 3v3. Guardians, Phantom, and an Operator. And that op does work right away.
Is that through smoke? Or that flanker? That's Cortezia dying on flank.
The ult on the orb. Oh, as soon as it drops. Oh, Jonah P has to make too much noise on that one. Okeanos able to come through with the kill, and the timeouts are paramount for both of the coaches, for both teams, as we get another round for Evil Geniuses here.
Yeah, and it works out for EG too. Play aggro, take that line, see if anybody's there because of that 4K that Digizine had previously on that fountain. And as they see nothing there, you have to help out those 2 players on that side. Yeah, that's going to be annoying to deal against. I saw that from the mini-map of his position where people died. I was like, yeah, you can't hold U-Haul that way. But they did their job, right? They were both inside U-Haul. They still got 2 kills on their side. They made it a lot easier for EG to fight back from showers.
Yeah.
Seekers really helped out here for Calm.
Finally broke their economy a little bit to make them force for that last round. I would say save for that last round, for being correct the terminology. Oh, another line. It was B long last time. It's going to be showers this time for Digizine. Moving up, gets one quick one. A relay bolt for safety, and he can't get the fast lane up to live. Jerwin goes for the op, though. They're going to want that to keep. No, he goes shotgun. I was wondering if he was going to keep that.
They're just trying to stall down this high tide, which is beautiful. You have the Brimstone smoke that doesn't allow really for them to flood out here for Sentinels, except with the showstopper that can help.
All right, Redux flexing his muscles here. Fires it right at the feet of Jerwin. John Cutie still cleans it up. He's the one that grabbed the op in the end to bring back the shots through the scope. Jerwin gets another one onto Superman here. And again, we go back and forth with the rounds. Calm is left to search everyone out by himself.
I never knew John Cutie was an opper.
He's something. I mean, remember when he used to be with a Bulldog? Those right-click Bulldogs are pretty much the same thing. You hit a 3 burst, you hit a single shot, people are falling down.
All right, now you have to give your plan away, but at least you have the flashes. You still have util to help yourself out.
Gotta tap it. Pull him out of the woodwork here. He knows he's got a little bit of time, though. Doesn't even see a shoulder on that first peek. So Redux is just going to have all day to play with them here. Yep, I see you. Here goes the half. Try to hold it at least. And he's forced right into the waiting arms of John Cutie for the thrifty round. Cortezia once again up out of his seat, keeping that mental up for Sentinels. And you heard it, match point off of that thrifty against EG.
That's so hard to escape when you got a Neon sliding with a Bucky there. You're hoping that the first kill that you grab was the actual Neon. Clean shots by John Cutie. Very simple with the op as well. He even picks up a rifle. Map and series point now for the Sentinels, where EG, the last time they had to face off against Sentinels was kickoff in that middle bracket round 1, where they also suffered an 0-2 loss. They're so close right now to be able to push this to a 3rd map. He talked about the economy not being the best for the Sentinels. They had to win that on a thrifty to get the lead.
Yeah, right back.
But for EG, at least they have some sort of money to work with, right? 3 rifles, still a Bucky and a Stinger. The only thing is that there's no ults to help them with this round. Well, the Sentinels, though, they're being quite patient. Realize here in these early rounds for the last couple that EG have been fighting with a little bit more force to block down some aggro lines.
Still waiting. They're trying to at least have Hookah control if they lose B. Leave Digizine and back. Yeah, really just a default setup here where they're left up to the whim of whatever Sentinels wants to do. There's kind of no forward info here for EG. They might play in their favor, though. If they back up anchor sites, but it doesn't look like they're in that position, it's going to be the 1v1. Bao ready to just take this face-to-face with the Bucky.
Yeah,
whoever comes out of shower. Jerwin.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, that's going to be a fake, too. Digizine on one. Slides back, tries to get into a good position, but he's just squashed by 2 players of Sentinels. And even that lurk isn't going to work in their favor just yet. They take down Bao on the other side. And just so many fights on different fronts here for Sentinels. And they get back to A for safety. It's up to Superman.
And Oli has a stinger.
Oh, they're lining up. Shorty ready. And that's going to be it. Jerwin gets the 3K, gets the kill. And Sentinels make quick work of EG across the 2 maps of Haven and Bind.